Well, we're out walking the dogs. We're getting to the end of a really wintry period. It rained a bit yesterday and then froze again last night. I was going to do a talk over for a load of slides I've got, but you can hear the wind. You probably realise I can't do it, so we'll do it another time. Well, we got back to the car just before the blizzard hit. We were up above that tree line and it's white out now. Back to the workshop. So we got a parcel through the post. Which, given how well it's been packaged, I'm surprised it was as cheap as it was. The guy's gone to the trouble of actually making up a crate and even sanding it. I know what it is. It's a well used 8-inch chuck. I assume that's a return address. It was an eBay find. Nobody bid on it on account of it having the extra holes drilled in it, but for my purposes should be fine. I'll lift it out of the box and then bring you back. Yeah, so it's 8-inch diameter. It's a bit heavier than I wanted. If I put that in comparison with my 6-inch, I think it's 6. Yeah, so that's 6 and that's 8. I could pick that up, chuck it around with one hand. That's got to be at least twice the weight. The idea was, it was 20 quid, which I didn't think was going to break the bank. The idea was that it would do as a stopgap on my 5-inch lathe to turn these larger discs that I want, because to fit the larger discs in that, the jaws are hanging out and they're only engaged by one thread, which is not safe. So on this, the idea would be flip the jaws round and they'll actually be virtually fully engaged. I couldn't find a 7-inch which would have been between them, and I've been looking for months. I can't really see anywhere lightening it up. It's just a little bit heavy, I think, to be sitting on the end of my spindle. I'm going to ask a few folk and see what they think. The sides of those look alright. So the idea was that this was going to be enable me to turn these 8-inch gear blanks, or more accurately to bore them out bump. I can fit a 10-inch diameter on the lathe, so I figured I'd have a little bit of clearance by the time these are out. Anyway, if it doesn't work, they decide it's too heavy. Plan B was to actually have it as a chuck to fit to a rotary table. Not ideal because it's 4-jaw independent, but then again, for the number of times I'm likely to use it on a rotary table, it'll be fine. So yeah, I've got to strip it down, clean it down, and see. I mean, just the size of the jaws are. You wouldn't think they were only 2 inches in size. I'd try and find a maker's mark on it. I can't remember what it was. Pratt. The Pratt P-R-A-T-T chuck, made in England. It'll clean up nice anyway. Be interested to know what they were used for. It's obviously done a job and they needed those holes. They're all 3 threaded. So yeah, right, so there we go. Oh, battery ran out. It's this jaw, and you can see that it's had some trauma on the side of the chuck there, which has been dressed off, but it's sticky. The threads are clean, but you can see it sticks and then goes, sticks and then goes. It's all the indications of some shit in the thread, but the thread's clean. I've cleaned them out. But if I show you, take the jaw out and I show you the lugs I was wittering on about. It's perfectly usable. So, you know, I mean, there's diddly squat wrong with that. Bring it down so you can see the lugs. So these two, I assume, are like a U section that follows that that diameter all the way around. But if you look carefully, you can see somebody's walloped the hell out of it with a punch or something. And if I stick the chuck key in and rotate it, you can actually see where they've not only walloped it, but they've missed and struck the inner diameter. So I'm wondering whether it's that's picking up. And what I'd like to do is take it all out. I'd like to strip the chuck, clean it all off. I'd particularly like to get that out, check that threaded section, clean it all up, put it back in. There's a bit of play in it, more so than on the others. But given that somebody else has already had a go at whacking it out, I'm loath to repeat the exercise. I mean, some ways you can see it's been blown, had some hammer blows or something. I mean, I'm guessing they're a press fit. In which case, what's the little grub screw? Yeah, the little shoulder screw to hold it down. It's only going to stop it rotating, but it can't rotate. So I'm surprised it's in that hard. Anyway, in order for me to use that on the lathe, I've got to get a backing plate with was an 1.5 inch Whitworth fine, and then that'll fit on my lathe then, if that's the route I decide to go. Well, after a couple of close misses with trying to stop the shaper in a rush and the pendant falling off its platform, I've put in a temporary support for it, and I need a speed adjust knob on the end of the potentiometer, but that's nice and substantial. It ain't gonna move. Whilst I've had it, I've had it on the stroke adjust and just bent a bit of aluminium as a pointer. It's a bit of a tight fit getting it to clear this, and I've also found that when the ram is back, so when this is at this position, there's obviously a misalignment somewhere in that to the dovetails by about 40 thou. Not a problem when it's running, but it's took a bit of messing about with some packing to throw the pointer off, so it stays clear of that, but also clear of the paintwork. Anyway, that's that done. I've left room on the back here because I've got some lights on order. I've got an angled poise which I might use. It's just that the head of it is a bit massive, so I might strip the head off and just stick in a couple of small spotlights so I can bring it up and have it pointing down at the vise. Yeah, niggly jobs, but they need doing. One of the other jobs which I've identified when we're doing the internal work, there's a little bit of play, and tracing it back, it seems to be the play between the pin. There's a definite rock there. Well, you can hear that. So I've got to knock the pin out and taper ream it through to take the pin down another, I don't know, minimum I can get away with, and then just clean the inside of that a tad more to reduce that. I mean, it's working all right, it's just that there's a little bit of a kick over, and obviously the further away the tool is from that pin, the more leverage, so the more of an effect it is. Yeah. I'm just going to try and see if I can get a measurement on the movement of the tool post. So I've got a 1/1000th indicator, and we're just going to bring it up, put some preload on it. That's close enough for what we're looking at. I've not made any adjustments to the gib. The tool head slide is locked, so what I'm trying to do is find the movement that's in the clapper box. I'd have said that was around about 3.5 thou, and I can physically see that moving. So I'll reposition and pick it up here, and we'll see the same thing. So bear with us. Well, I'm going to try and do the measurements again. So we're trying to check for movement between the clapper box and its housing. I've got the tool head slide locked. That's locked, which is the clapper box rotation. So we're zeroed out. If I push the tool that way, I've got 2.5 thou. And I've got a what, thou there. So I've got something in the region of 3.5 thou movement. I'll let that settle again. If I get hold of the slide, there's around about, I can heave on the whole of the tool head and I can get about 1/2 thou. So it's the play between the clapper box and the outer housing. I've measured up the the pin, and it's a 5/8 English taper, so that's a 1 in 48 or 1/4 of an inch per foot. I haven't got a reamer, having had a good look through. I thought I'd got a reasonable array, but it seems that there's an awful lot of them. It's a number 9 reamer taper reamer, or a 5/8 taper reamer. So I'm pricing them up at the moment with a view to knock the pin out, ream it through again, so that that is a nice snug fit. You can see it there. And then you ream it through with everything in place, so you've got a nice even taper all the way through. And you lift this off and you just very lightly ream the clapper box to the extent that that's where you're getting your fit. Yeah. So once I've got me, I'll probably put a new pin in it as well. It's pretty chewed up on the ends. When I re-ream it, it'll want to go through a bit more, so I'm not sure how much will be left. There we go.